What's up, y'all? Snipes and Snarfblatts, your unauthorized place for Disney, Pixar, Marvel, and Lucasfilm. I'm your host, Jason, and if you can't tell, Solo, a Star Wars story. Just got out of it last night. These are my first thoughts on a film that apparently nobody wanted. Everyone I talk to keeps saying this is the film they did not want. Hell, I myself wasn't really excited for Solo, mainly because of this long list of things in the Star Wars universe that I'd rather see. But that said, we were wrong. I was wrong. And I'm glad I was wrong, because I just walked out of a really good, if not great, film. This has restored my faith in the Star Wars story anthologies. Because when I first heard Solo was coming out, I was like, oh god, they're just throwing stuff at the board now and seeing what sticks. But I was wrong. They had a plan after it all was said and done, because this movie definitely had an uphill battle. We had, director changes. We had late hiring actor coaches. We had whole actors replaced in the full reshoot that took place after the director change. I mean, this movie had a uphill battle, but the fight was worth it, because the end result, and that's the only thing that really matters anyway, the end result was great. I had so much fun with this movie. I liked it more than Rogue One, and not saying Rogue One was a bad movie, because I really enjoyed Rogue One, but I've noticed that as I've rewatched Rogue One, it's not as entertaining. It almost feels like I'm watching a documentary, whereas this film feels like it's going to be rewatchable for years. I had so much fun with this, and it's weird because my first best way to describe this is it's a movie that really grows on you, because even all the characters really grow on you. At first, you think, oh, whoa, it's shell-shocking, because this is a different Star Wars. This is totally a different feel to Star Wars, but it's still Star Wars. They show us things we've never seen before, so at first it's kind of like, oh god, what is this? But then, as I started coming around, which was really quick, within 15 minutes, I was sold on Alden Ehrenreich as Han Solo. Harrison Ford was correct. He totally has taken this and made it his own. And I'll go as far as not only saying I enjoyed him as Han Solo, I would totally watch more of this guy as Han Solo, since he's signed on for more. I would totally watch the further adventures of Han Solo, because he was great. I mean, it felt like watching Han. It felt like that would be a natural progression into what Harrison Ford delivers you in A New Hope. And that's what won me over first. The next thing was, you start seeing the reason you're seeing this as a new type of Star Wars is because it's giving you something Rogue One tried to give you, and I don't think Rogue One pulled it off as well. And that's a actual galactic empire-controlled world. And you see how they're taking these worlds and they're really just locking them down, and the Empire is just making them their own. And it's something we haven't seen, and I can't wait to see more things like that, because that's one of the things that really shined for me in this movie was the Empire-controlled states, that we never really get to see how that affects other civilians other than the people we're dealing with. And this time you really get a good look of how that affects the worlds they take over, and I thought that was really, really neat. The next person that debuted was Kira. She's his love interest in the movie, and I loved her part. I loved her part all the way through. No spoilers. I really love her part. She pops back up and on and off, and she's just, you fall in love with her. You fall in love with all of these characters. I mean, even Chewie. Chewie doesn't miss a beat, but I mean, it's because it's Chewie. Like, I guess anyone could really do Chewie. You say that, but you don't really think about it, because the person in that suit is really playing Chewie. And you get a lot of emotion out of Chewie in this movie. I think it's more emotion than I've ever seen out of Chewie. And that was really neat, because it was, you don't see that. You figure with all that fur and all that stuff, you're just not going to get that walking carpet performance. But I felt a lot of emotion out of Chewbacca this time around. That just, it was there, but it was extreme in this one. You could really tell it. The person in the suit, Junus, he really, you could tell he brought through a lot of emotion and a lot of substance to the Chewbacca character that I never thought could really be there, and it worked. But nothing at all worked better than Donald Glover, Childish Gambino, as Lando. My only regret to the Solo movie, because I really liked it, was that we didn't get a Lando movie. And I'm still hoping for that, fingers crossed. This Lando movie needs to happen. This Lando, from the first words he said, was Billy D. Williams just reborn in the form of Donald Glover. It was great. No one could have been as cool as this man has made this role cool. I mean, I was waiting for him to grab a nice, smooth Colt 45 any minute, because his performance as Lando was amazing. And that brings us to the one thing that I was really on and off about, and that was L337, I think was the droid's name. I was real iffy on L337. She was the one that I think grew on me the most, because at first, it was the first droid character introduced that I just did not really care for. She was just, I don't know why, I just didn't really care for her at first. However, by the end of the film, I actually grew fond of L337. I guess she had a whole personality even that had to grow on me. But once that personality got through, I even appreciated her for her part. And like I said, everyone came together great in this film, especially the last minute addition of Paul Bettany. Paul Bettany is the villain, if there's going to be a villain in this movie. And Paul Bettany was as amazing as Paul Bettany always is. He was a perfect villain. This guy needs bigger parts. This guy needs more parts, because he has proved time and time again that he is one amazing actor, and he brought it in this movie. He was a great villain for what this set up. And wow, I can't believe I just left out. I almost moved on past all the people in this movie, and I almost skipped Woody Harrelson. Woody Harrelson is one of those people that can be added to anything, because Woody Harrelson has been amazing since he was Woody on Cheers. And once again, Woody Harrelson I swear he's reborn every time he comes on film, because he just personifies the roles he plays. And he was the perfect person to mentor Han Solo and give him some of the characteristics we know Han Solo to have. And Woody Harrelson I was looking forward to most in this movie, so that's probably why I kind of was easy to go right past him, because I kind of already played his card as I knew Woody Harrelson was going to be legit no matter what. So, and he did not prove me wrong in that. He came through great. Everyone came together to make this movie a great movie, Ron Howard included. I'm sure those reshoots were strenuous, but what you came up with in the end feels like a new Star Wars, which is what those anthologies wanted to feel like. They wanted to feel like Star Wars, but a little something different. And sir, you pulled that off better than anybody. And for all those people who get into it like I do, read the comic books, read the books, watch all the cartoons, there are two major reveals in there that I could tell, even sitting in the fan party, that a lot of the people around me did not even really pick up on. But those two major reveals paid off for me perfectly. Thank you for those, and I hope we go more into the major one of those. And I'm not going to spoil it. I'm not even going to give any hints, because I don't want anybody to know it's coming, because I caught on to it right at the first glimpse, and I can't wait for everybody else to get this surprise, because it was cool. And I saw this in IMAX. See it big. See it on the big screen. Don't wait for this movie. It's worth your dime. And I just mentioned the opening party, right? All right. The opening parties, if you haven't heard me talk about them, the opening parties happen an hour before the first showing, and they're usually all the biggest fans, and they're usually all, they give you stuff. Like, they give you really cool stuff this time, too, so it was worth the total price of the ticket. It was a $25 ticket, which is a little steep for an IMAX movie, but we got a large popcorn. We got some dangly dice that were metal, just like the ones he hangs everywhere he goes and kept with the Falcon. You saw him in The Last Jedi. We got those. We got a movie poster. And then on top of that, we also got a little pack of buttons that had little Han Solo quotes on them. And You know what? That little package, I'd have probably paid $15 for it. So that said, I got $10 tickets to go see the movie an hour before other people. So all in all, I gotta say that opening night fan party was probably the best one I've ever been to as it comes to like swag and stuff they gave us to take. I would really suggest people to start going to the opening night fan parties. They're really fun. They'll expand them into more places the more people go, and I had a blast at this thing. And the people you sit around, you can tell they're all people that love the thing. You'll usually get clapping at the end and the oohs and the ahs as it goes on. But like I said, go see this movie in the theater. You will have a lot of fun with it. I had a lot of fun with it. Like I said, I liked it even more than Rogue One. I don't know where it stands in my hierarchy of Star Wars movies, but I loved this movie. I can't go on more and more. Thanks to everybody who put this movie together, because I know y'all had an uphill battle. I know the budget got doubled at the last minute, but the end game was a total great payoff that I actually can't wait to see them build on. They just announced the Boba Fett movie last night, so I'm hoping now that they've got this Boba Fett and this Obi-Wan, all this stuff in the works, that eventually they're all just going to kind of Marvel Universe into each other or something, maybe have some spins here. I think that'd be really cool, but that's just me. I would love to see more of this. I'm going to put pictures of the stuff we got from the opening night fan party. There's already some on our Instagram, and I'm also going to do them on the webpage because I like to go in and do a more thorough movie review than just, like I said, this is my first thoughts. I like to do a more thorough review on the webpage, so look for that. The best way to look for that is go down into the description after you like and share this video with your friends. And while you're in the description, there's going to be a bunch of links. There's a link to the website, there's a link to Facebook, a link to Twitter, a link to Pinterest, and a link to Instagram. The Twitter and the Facebook will let you know everything that's going on the website, where we talk about anything that's happening in all these universes right as it happens, as it catches my eye. I don't talk about everything, but I talk about the stuff I'm interested or not interested in. And there's also the Instagram page where there's pictures of everything we're doing. There's the movies we're going to. You can see what we're doing at the time. There's a whole lot of Walt Disney World pictures up there. I met Chewbacca, gave him a hug for Star Wars Day. A lot of cool stuff. Check that stuff out. Like I said, like and share, subscribe, hit the little bell. We've got a really big announcement coming your way, and this channel is about to get a whole lot bigger. I'm about to add a lot more stuff. It's going to be way more than just movie reviews. So go see Solo. Keep paying attention to us, because we're going to keep you more into this stuff, and I can't wait to see y'all again. But first things first, remember, never tell me the odds.